Hi, we're going to do lesson 3-3, simple interest today. And the interest rule is just another version of our percent rule that we've been doing over and over and over again. Interest is a special part. The principal is just the whole amount that you start with, and the interest rate is just a percent. A rate is just another word for percent. What is interest? Interest is money that you pay on a credit card, or it might be money that you receive on a stock or on a savings account or on a bond. So we pay interest on our home loans. We receive interest when maybe I loan my money to my daughter and tell her, you can have $20, but you're going to owe me interest of $1 for borrowing it, or you're going to owe me 5% interest if you borrow some money from me right now. The second step is we would multiply by the number of years that you're having it. All we're going to be looking at is simple interest. So if it was 2 years, you'd multiply by 2. If it was a half a year, you'd multiply by a half. This year, we simplified it to just be 1 year because of COVID. And then to find the balance, it's something that gets added on. So if you have money in a savings account, they add the interest on. If you have money on a credit card, or your mother or father has money on a credit card, they add the interest on, and you have to pay a little bit even more the following month unless you made a payment. So we could do these problems through a proportion or an equation. I know at this point that there's a lot of you that do both. I'm going to set up my template. Okay, my 5% would go here. On the equation method, I would need to make it a decimal. 5 hundredths, 5 hundredths. This is the amount. How much simple interest does a $1,200 investment earn at 5% interest? This is our whole. This is called a principal in the finance world. So the whole would go down here, and the unknown is the amount of interest. So this is the whole amount that we're going to get the 5% interest on. So maybe you're putting that into a money market or a CD so that you can make money off of your money. You could solve this either way, using any method you want to solve those. I'm going to go ahead and just type this in. 5 hundredths times 1,200 gives me $60. So I'm not going to show you how to solve those. If you need a review of how to solve those, come see me at Math Help Time. Okay. We could cross multiply here. We could do Schwoopy method here. This is just multiplication. So two different ways of doing step one. Step one is finding the interest. And then step two is the balance. We're not going to have multiple years this year. So to find the balance, you take the interest and you add it to the principal amount. So you started with $1,200, but by investing it at 5%, you got $60 almost for free, just for letting them borrow your money. So our balance would be 1,260. So it's basically the same way you do tax or tip. You find the part and you add it on. The part now is called interest. The whole now is called principal. Okay, let's try one more and that'll be good enough. I switched to black. I don't know, it's in red there. I put $550 on my credit card at 6.5% simple interest for 1 year. So I didn't have enough money to buy something, so I used my credit card. This is a low credit card rate. That's a deal. Most credit cards charge you more than that. So 6.5 is the percent. Nope, I'm putting it in the wrong spot. That's the issue with the equation method. Let me cross that off and start again. I have to make it a decimal. Okay, 6.5 hundredths is 65 thousandths. That decimal needed to be moved over 2 times. See how I messed up on that? It's easy to do. Now let's put in our whole. The whole amount I put on the credit card is $550, and I need to figure out the part that I'm going to pay in interest. Both of these will get you the same answer. You could cross multiply and divide here, or you could do Schwoopy. Schwoopy is where you figure out how many times this goes into that. Okay, let me think about this. It's 6.5 for every 100. So I think it's going to be about $35, something like that. 0.065 times 550. Oh yeah, $35.75. Okay, that makes sense because it's $6.5 for every 100. So how many for 550? So this would give me the same answer. I'm not going to do it both ways. And for the balance, it's the same exact deal. I bought something for $550, put it on my credit card, and they charged me $35.75 because I stuck it on my credit card. And it probably would have been more than that. Most credit cards are more like 13% interest. 85. I could have done that on my calculator. 585.75. That's how you do interest. We're keeping it easy this year, just looking at it as 1 year. But if we were doing it for multiple years, you would just need to multiply by the number of years. Okay. If it's a less than a year, you just multiply by a number less than 1. If it was 10 years, you would multiply by 10. This is called simple interest. Some people in the banking world use something called compound interest, which you'll learn in a later year.